all right. I'm good. I'm so glad to be here. She came after I was. I didn't write because of her. I tried to impress her when I met her. I sure did. I captured her mind, and she became my girl. But her parents didn't like the fact that I was a street guy. She was most likely to succeed. She come from a well-to-do family, and she was intelligent, and she was expected to go far in life. But her parents did not want her to mingle with me in fear of me impregnating her. I kind of had some type of glimpse as to what to expect, because when I was in reform school, I bombed out the whole reform school. I had no regard for authority. They couldn't control me. And they asked me to clean up the mess I made. And I told them I'm not cleaning up anything. So they gave me a choice. Either you clean it up or you go to the hole. And I told them, put me in the hole. I'm not cleaning up nothing. And they put me in the hole. And the guy who brought me my food, I told him to bring me a marker. And I bombed out the hole real bad. But I didn't do anything to stay in the hole for a long time. I would just write my name on the walls and have a defined disorder. In the hole, 48 hours. Yeah. I was in and out because I hadn't done anything. I didn't steal enough. I wouldn't fight nobody. I wasn't disrespecting nobody. I didn't hurt nobody. I just wrote my name on the walls. Bombed out the whole damn jail. And when I got out the hole, I resumed doing what I do to put me in the hole. I continued writing my name. And they thought that something was wrong with me. They thought I suffered from a mental deficit. I made a suggestion that I go see the psychiatrist. But the administration knew that I had something special because I used to write and recite poetry to the counselors, the teachers, the social workers, the psychiatrists, the staff, the administration. And me writing my name all over the place. They thought there was an artist inside of me who craved to be recognized. And I just bombed out the whole institution. And when I went to see the psychiatrist, he asked me, why are you writing your name everywhere, man? Who does that? What is this about? I said, you ain't seen shit yet. When I get out of here, I'm going to set the world on fire, and you're going to read about me. And he thought I was talking crazy. He gave me my pass. He said, here's your pass. You're not making no sense. You sound stupid. Go back to your unit. This meeting is over. I walked out the door. I said, you're going to read about me. So I came home in 1967. We didn't use the word graffiti. You know why? Because there was none. We didn't use the word hip hop. You know why? There was none. So only writing you seen on the walls was by gang members who wrote their name on walls to identify their turf. That's a totally different culture. When I came home in 67, I started walking bus routes all over the city. I mean, I got close to maybe 50, 60 bus routes. And I walked them all, going and coming on both sides of the streets. This bus route, this bus route, this bus route, this bus route, the elevated trains, the subway, the trolleys, the buses, the Home Depot trolley, where all the buses would be. I would go to the depot buses and bomb on all the buses all night long. Go inside the bus and bomb inside and out. And it was unheard of at that time that everybody sing my name. How can you go everywhere and everywhere you say the name Cornbread? I had caused a psychological effect on the minds of the Philadelphians. They talked about me like they talked about Jesus. My name was everywhere. Me setting the world on fire was just starting to begin. And I just kept writing my name. I became a household conversation, and it was a new phenomenon. Well, that came down the line, I got myself a job at Nabisco making Oreo cookies, and I'm going to work one day, and I always read the newspapers while I ride. And on the front page of the newspapers, I read, Cornbread is shot to death. I was taken There got to be another Cornbread story on page 3. And this is what I read. The fantastic career of Philadelphia best-known graffiti artist came to a violent end Sunday outside a hotel and bar. Here I am on this bus, on my way to work, reading the newspapers, reading about my own death. That became a prescription for disaster. I knew I had to do something bizarre to make the media correct their mistake. I gets off the bus, I called my job. I said, this is Daryl McCray, I won't be in to work today. Then I called the newspapers. I said, you better get your article right. The guy answered the phone and said, get the article right? Who is this? I said, this is Cornbread, and I'm not dead. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on, Cornbread is gone. We don't need no imposters. Let Cornbread rest in peace. Cornbread is gone, man. Let Cornbread rest in peace. Hung up on me. I called him right back. You better get your article right, man. You better get your article right, because I would tear this town. I already tore this town up. I would tear this town up. He said, you better find something better to do. Cornbread is gone. Let Cornbread rest in peace. Hung up on me again. Now, all this writing I done was going through the guy's grave. Guess what his name was? The guy got killed. His name was Cornelius. The media made a big mistake. They thought the corn for Cornelius was a corn short for cornbread, and erroneously announced my demise. I knew I had to do something to make the papers correct their mistake. I started writing on the walls, the real Cornbread is not dead. But I was in 3 different newspapers. No impact. The real Cornbread is not dead. No impact at all. So I knew that all this writing I'd done was going to go to this guy's grave if I didn't get him straightened out before they put him in the ground. And I came to the conclusion I can make the media correct a mistake if I went to the Philadelphia Zoo and bombed out the whole fucking zoo. I go to the zoo on a Saturday afternoon. It was real crowded. People putting their baby carriages around, a lot of kids walking around. It was real crowded, nice hot summer. It was real hot. And I knew better to try something like that at that time. It was best I came back before the zoo opened or after the zoo closed. So I'm on my way out, and I seen all these people sitting around, muddying around this pit, taking pictures. I'm curious to know what they're taking pictures of. I walks over, and this guy got the trunk of the elephant in his hands. And people taking pictures. He's tugging the elephant ears. People taking pictures. He got his body across the elephant's torso. People taking pictures. He's grandstanding and showboating for the crowd. So one of the ladies asked him, aren't you afraid the elephant's going to hurt you? He says, no, man, this elephant came from a circus. He's used to being around people. He's not going to hurt anyone. He's harmless. But when I heard that, that's all I needed to hear. So I left. I came back to the zoo the next day, big bag of peanuts. Got my peanuts, a handful of peanuts. I'm throwing the peanuts at the elephant. Hey, big guy, how long you been here? He's eating my peanuts. Looking at me. I throw him some more peanuts. What's your name, big guy? He's eating my peanuts. I'm talking to him. He's watching me, eating my peanuts. I come back the next day. I throw him some more peanuts. The next time I came to that zoo was 6:30 the next morning. It was still the crack of dawn. I went to the back of the zoo, came over the fence, came down to the enclosure where he was at, took the spray paint top off. Clack, 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 clack. The elephant turns around. He looks at me. He knows exactly who I am. He's just standing there. I walked up to him. I wrote, Cornbread lives. Right on the other side. Cornbread lives. I felt perplexed that I went through all that to do something that took me less than a minute to do. The job got done. I came out the pit, and I just started bombing out the whole zoo. I wrote in the bathroom, the women's bathroom, the ladies' bathroom, concession stands, table stands, the houses, other places, elephants, on trees. I really just bombed the zoo out. I had no regard for authority. Someone was in that zoo and see what I was doing and called the police. Now, had I came out that pit and went straight to the exit, I would have got away. But when after the bomb out the zoo, by the time I got to the exit, the cops were just pulling the and I got ready to run. Cop put his hand on the gun and said, "Don't you fucking run. Don't you run." I said, "Oh my God. Put your hands up in the air." I put my hands up in the air. He came, put the cuffs on me, and took me in custody. Take me to the juvenile cell at the police station. So I'm trying to rest because I was up all night trying to be at the zoo before they open. And man, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, officers would come down to the holding cell. "Which one of you guys is Cornbread?" I said, "Here, what's up?" "Kid, give me your autograph." The cops just asked me for my autograph like I was some celebrity. I said, and the other juvenile, "Yo, Cornbread, who the fuck is you? You got the cops asking you for your autograph." I said, "You gonna hear about me on?" And I'm signing autographs for the cops. And when I went to court, they knew that I had done some time there before. They knew that when I came home, my grandmother died. They knew 2 years later, my mother died. And I didn't want to suffer from losing my mother and my grandmother. I mean, that's who raised me. That was all I had. And they wasn't trying to hurt me because graffiti is not sinful behavior. And they wasn't trying to really penalize me like that. But they knew that I needed some help. So they helped me, and I left the jail every day to go to work. And after work, I go to school. Well, I would go to school, then I go to work. And you had a point for going to school. You had a point and a half if you went to school and you went to work. And all you needed was 50 points to get out this program. And I didn't have a home. I mean, I had a home, but I had a house, but it wasn't a home. My grandmother wasn't there. My mother wasn't there. There was no heat there. There was no food. There was no love there. About 15. And I really had that was a real hard time of my life, you know. And I really suffered. And the only thing that relieved me from suffering from losing my mother and grandmother, I would consume my time writing Cornbread everywhere. I did this every day, day and night, everywhere, every day, in every place. I just started writing Cornbread. I made Philadelphia pay me attention. So I read about myself in the newspaper about the elephant, and I fell in love with reading about myself in the newspapers. And I'd have done anything to appear there again. The radio DJ came on the radio, announced that the Jackson 5 was coming to Philly to do a show. And if you wanted to meet them, you could come down to the airport, come out to the tarmac, sign autographs, take pictures, meet and greet, shake hands. It was like that then, before 9/11. And I was down there, maybe about 50, 60 people was down there. And the plane came in. We idled about 10 minutes. The steps let down. Michael Jackson came to the top of the stairwell. Threw a kiss everybody. Everybody went ballistic, screaming and hollering, with just total chaos. Michael, Tito, Marlo, Jackie, and Jermaine came down the steps, going through the crowd, and everybody went ballistic, screaming. It was just so out of control. In the midst of the confusion, I zipped up the steps, hold onto the rail, and write Cornbread on the jet. I didn't come there to watch the Jackson 5. I came there to write my name on the aircraft. I come down the steps, go to the terminal, get myself a seat, and just sat there and waited till the plane took off. I wasn't going nowhere. The plane started moving backwards. It went this way, and it went this way, and the faster it went, the louder it became, and it was airborne. Cornbread went on this plane in the air, and I had a mental orgasm. I said, oh my God. I knew right then and there I had set the world on fire, because that can never be duplicated. Who writes on a jet? Who writes on an elephant? And whose name is all over the city, causing a psychological effect on the minds of Philadelphians? They talked about Cornbread like they talked about Jesus. Setting the world on fire was in effect. All I wanted to do is appear in the newspaper so I could read about myself. I'm coming from the late night movies one night, and I see this. I walk by this construction site where the skyscraper was under construction, and I walk by. I looks up, and right where the two gates meets at, when they open the gates, when people come in, the trucks come in, I climb over the fence, and I walk back, and of course the shaft elevator to take you up steps, take you up the different floors, and maybe about the 32nd, 33rd, 34th, I just start bombing massive slabs of concrete, the steel beams, the elevator, the steps, the floors. I really bombed this place out. The next day when the architects came to work, they knew I was there. They said, this bastard, I really fucked this place up. That made the newspapers. That's like a junkie getting his fix. I couldn't get enough of it. Now I want to ride on some cop cars and some paddy wagons. I mean, really give them something to talk about. But I knew that I better not think about going to the police station doing it. I have cameras. I get caught, I may get beat up. I may get locked up. So I had to bring the police to me. I was at the high-rise projects in North Philly, the Raymond Rosen projects. High-rise, I got a buddy lives there. His name is Kelly. I gave Kelly $20, and I bought a blank gun with blank cartridges. I said, Kelly, I got $20 for you. Thanks a lot, Bread. What is this for? Here's a gun. What am I gonna do with this? And there's a box of blank cartridges. What you want me to do, Bread? I said, I'm going downstairs, I'm gonna call the cops. When the cops come, I want you to take this gun and start shooting at them. I'm not doing no shit like that, Bread. I'm not doing no shit like that. You can have my $20 back. I said, Kelly, they're blanks. The gun is a blank. The cartridges is blank. You're not going to hurt nobody. All it's going to sound like shots being fired at them. When the cops come into the building, you go downstairs to your apartment. Nobody going to see nothing? Or are you going to go hear shots when they come into the building? Go to your apartment. Oh, hey, Bread, that sounds like, give me $2. And I go downstairs, I call the cops. I said, the gangs is beating this guy half to death. You better get some police officers up here because you fuck around and have a homicide on your hands. Where you at? 23rd and Diamond, 2309 building. Cop showed up. 2 cop cars shows up. I'm not satisfied. That's not enough. So when they showed up, they walk into the building. Kelly starts shooting at them. Pow, 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 pow. They don't know what's going on. He reloads about to shoot. Pow, 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 pow. They cause everybody, I think we're being shot at. We need some backup. He reloads again. Pow, 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 pow. More cops' car shows up. I told Kelly, when you see him coming in the building, leave. Go to your apartment downstairs. Them cops start coming in, man. They was coming in the building, leaving their vehicles unattended. You seen police, Cornbread. I must have tagged about 8 or 9 of them. They get us to the apartment where the shots came from. They seem like they're playing cartridges on the floor. The hell is this about? They go back downstairs. I had bombed all the police cars and paddy wagons. I said, this bastard. So there was too many vehicles that had road off for them to take off the street. They had to ride around with police and Cornbread on them, but they never publicized that. They did not want teenagers going around riding on police vehicles. That was never publicized. I was hurting for certain. And that was my whole thing about making the newspapers, man. Philadelphia became the graffiti capital of the world because I started appearing in comic strips, headlines, front pages, magazine covers, editorial strips, cartoons, and they really talked about Corn. I was something brand. It was unheard of that everybody went places and always seen my name. It doesn't matter where you went, you always seen my name. I became a household conversation. I became a new phenomenon. And other teenagers wanted to receive the same notoriety that I received. And war writers and graffiti artists and bombers came out the cracks of the walls. And Philadelphia was bombed out with graffiti. That went on unchecked for 17 years. The Philadelphia city looked so bad, it turned away city business. And the first black mayor that ran for Philadelphia mayor, his top priority was to rid the city of graffiti that turned away city business. And I went to him, had my scrapbook, and I told the black mayor, I could be a great asset to your program if you gave me a job. He said, who are you? I showed him my scrapbook. He said, Cornbread, you got the job. I want you down here Tuesday at 10 o'clock, the press conference. And I work with the Anti-Graffiti Network. I got a lot of flack because I turned anti-graffiti, but, you know, it was coming at me, you start this shit, you might as well help us clean it up. And that's what I did. I mean, today, Philadelphia is a graffiti-free town, you know. I thought it was best that I do something to make a change. And today, Philadelphia Mural Arts is the mural capital of the world. We went from the graffiti capital of the world to the mural capital of the world. People from all over the world come to Philadelphia to watch our art. And that is something that I'm responsible for. Oh, that was the time, I mean, like, I lost my mother, I lost my grandmother. I really suffered a lot because that was all I had. And Cornbread filled that void, you know. I didn't suffer as much because my mom was preoccupied with what I was doing. And then I had a point to prove. I told the psychiatrist when I was away that I'm gonna set the world on fire. And that's what I was trying to do. That culture migrated to New York, and from New York, it filtered throughout the planet. What I started spread like a contagious wildfire, unstoppable, and it's still spreading.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.